Seniors, I need you to hear me on this one. Because what I'm about to share with you could honestly change the way your mornings feel from here on out. Poor blood flow after 60, weak performance down there, that is not just getting old. It's not some unavoidable thing you gotta accept and move on from. And I'll tell you what frustrates me the most after more than 20 years in this field. Most of the men I work with, good men, sharp men, guys who took care of their families their whole lives, they're unknowingly making things worse every single morning. And it starts with the very first thing they eat or don't eat. Here's what most guys are doing. They're grabbing a slice of white toast, pouring a cup of black coffee, maybe skipping breakfast altogether, or worse, eating something that's actively shutting down blood flow to the areas that matter most. That stops today. I'm Dr. Claire Weston. I'm a board-certified specialist in men's health and age-related circulation issues. I've spent over 2 decades helping men over 60 get their energy back, their confidence back, and yes, their vitality back. Naturally. No expensive prescriptions, no risky procedures. And today, I'm going to walk you through 4 real foods. Simple, affordable stuff that's probably sitting in your kitchen right now that can flip the switch on your circulation and give your body the raw materials it needs to perform the way it used to. Stronger blood flow, firmer response, warmer hands and feet, and energy that doesn't crash by noon. But before we jump into the foods, let me explain why this actually works, because I know a lot of you have seen 100 health videos that promise the world and deliver nothing. I get it. You're skeptical. You should be. So here's the science. After age 60, your body produces significantly less nitric oxide. That's the molecule responsible for telling your blood vessels to open up and let blood flow where it needs to go. Less nitric oxide means stiffer arteries, colder extremities, lower stamina, and less function during intimacy. That's not your fault. That's biology. But here's the good news. There are specific nutrients found in everyday foods that stimulate your body's natural nitric oxide production and help repair blood vessels that have been quietly breaking down for years. And when you combine these foods the right way, especially during the first hour of your day, you can literally reshape your circulation from the inside out. You're not chasing some temporary fix. You're building real lasting momentum. That's what we're after. So let's get into food number 1, black beans. Yeah, I know, not exactly glamorous, but just a 1/4 cup of black beans in the morning can have a serious impact on your blood flow. Here's why. Black beans are loaded with an amino acid called L-arginine. Your body converts L-arginine into nitric oxide. That means wider arteries, better blood movement, and stronger function across the board. They're also packed with magnesium, which helps the smooth muscle tissue around your pelvic region relax and work the way it should. Tight, tense vessels can't carry blood efficiently. Magnesium loosens them up. On top of that, black beans contain anthocyanins, powerful plant compounds that reduce inflammation and protect your artery walls from damage. That matters because as we age, inflammation builds up inside our blood vessels and starts blocking normal circulation. These compounds help clean up that damage and clear the path for oxygen-rich blood. Now, I know some of you are thinking, what if I don't have black beans? What about pinto beans or kidney beans? That's a question I get all the time, and it's a fair one. The truth is, most dark-colored beans contain L-arginine and magnesium. Black beans just happen to have the highest concentration. But if pinto or kidney beans are what you've got in the pantry, use those. You'll still get real benefits. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Let me tell you about a patient of mine named Walter. He's 71, a retired postal worker out of Memphis, and he came to me feeling like he was fading. His legs cramped at night, his hands were always cold, and mornings just didn't feel the way they used to. I looked at his blood work. His nitric oxide levels were low. Circulation markers were showing stress. So I asked him one question. What do you eat in the morning? He shrugged. Coffee. Maybe some toast if I'm feeling ambitious. I got him off that plan right away. Had him start adding a 1/4 cup of black beans to his breakfast 3 times a week. He'd toss them into scrambled eggs or mix them into a bowl of oatmeal. Within a month, the difference was clear. Warmer hands, less cramping, and he told me something I hear a lot from my patients. Mornings feel normal again, doc. Now a few practical notes. Soak your beans overnight if you're cooking from dry. It reduces the compounds that cause gas. If you're using canned, rinse them well to cut down on sodium. If you've got gout or you're sensitive to purines, keep your portion moderate. A tablespoon or 2 still does the job. And if you're on blood thinners, black beans are low in vitamin K, but it's always smart to stay aware of what you're putting in your body. Think of black beans not as a side dish, but as a circulation tool. You're not eating for comfort anymore. You're eating with a purpose. Let's move to food number 2. And this one surprises a lot of men because they've eaten it before, but never realized how powerful it could be when done right. Steel-cut oats, topped with toasted almonds and pre-soaked chia seeds. Now, I'm not talking about those instant oatmeal packets loaded with sugar and artificial junk. I'm talking about real, slow-cooked steel-cut oats. Why? Because they're rich in a soluble fiber called beta-glucan. And beta-glucan doesn't just lower cholesterol. It helps scrub your arteries clean so blood can move more freely, especially to your lower body. Think of your blood vessels like a garden hose. If there's gunk built up inside, less water gets through. Same deal with your arteries. And after 60, most men have some level of plaque narrowing those pathways. Steel-cut oats act like a gentle flush for your system. Over time, they help clear out that buildup, which means more oxygen-rich blood reaching the tissues that need it most, including the pelvic floor. Now, I want to address something because I hear it all the time. Dr. Weston, I'm diabetic. I've been told oats are bad for me. Listen, I understand the confusion. There's so much conflicting information out there, it'll make your head spin. Here's the truth. Oats are not automatically bad for people with diabetes. They're a whole grain, high in fiber, and for many people, they actually help slow blood sugar rise. The problem is highly processed instant oats, the ones with added sugars and stripped down fiber. Those will spike your glucose. But real steel-cut oats, paired with healthy fats and protein like almonds and chia seeds, actually help stabilize blood sugar and keep you steady through lunch. No crash, no mid-morning fog. Talk to your doctor about your specific situation, but don't write off oats based on internet noise. Now, the toppings are what turn this into a true circulation powerhouse. Almond flakes bring magnesium and healthy fats your blood vessels need. Magnesium helps regulate blood pressure, supports muscle tone, and plays a key role in testosterone production. Then we add chia seeds, soaked overnight in water or unsweetened almond milk so they form a gel. That gel slows digestion, regulates blood sugar, and improves nutrient absorption. Plus, chia seeds are one of the best plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce arterial stiffness and lower inflammation. That means smoother, steadier blood flow where it counts. Let me tell you about Douglas. He's 74, a retired high school football coach from outside Atlanta. Doug came to me exhausted, low energy, brain fog, performance issues. He wasn't sleeping well, and his mornings were basically a blur. Grab a muffin, drink coffee, crash before noon. Sound familiar? We swapped his morning routine. Instead of sugar and caffeine, he started making a bowl of steel-cut oats 3 times a week with toasted almond flakes and soaked chia seeds. Nothing fancy. Within 3 weeks, Doug told me his legs didn't feel heavy anymore. He was waking up with more energy, more clarity. I checked his labs. LDL cholesterol had dropped, blood pressure was lower, and his testosterone was climbing naturally. No medications. Just real food doing its job. Here's how you do it. Cook a half cup of steel-cut oats. Toast a tablespoon of almond flakes. Add a spoonful of chia seeds you soaked overnight. 5 minutes in the morning. That's it. 5 minutes that can change how your blood vessels function for the rest of the day. And if you've got a gluten sensitivity, make sure your oats are certified gluten-free. Oats don't naturally contain gluten, but they're often processed in facilities that handle wheat. For those watching their weight, almonds are calorie dense, so a tablespoon is plenty. Add a few blueberries or a dash of cinnamon on top, and you're stacking even more antioxidants in your favor. Now let's talk about food number 3. And this one might catch you off guard because it's not actually a food. It's a drink, but it's one of the most powerful circulation tools I recommend. Green tea, specifically high-quality loose-leaf green tea brewed the right way. Not the bottled stuff loaded with sugar, and not the kind that's been sitting on a shelf for 6 months. What makes green tea so effective is a compound called EGCG. This natural catechin activates a pathway in your body that ramps up nitric oxide production. Same molecule we've been talking about. It tells your arteries to relax and expand, allowing more blood to reach your pelvic floor, your legs, your brain. Take Ray. He's 72, a retired electrician from Tucson. Sharp guy. But he came to me feeling sluggish mentally and physically. He'd tried vitamins, protein powders, caffeine pills. Nothing stuck. I looked at his routine and saw the problem. Soda in the afternoon, processed snacks, barely any hydration. I told him to swap the soda for one thing. A cup of hot green tea mid-morning or after lunch, that's it. Within 3 weeks, Ray said he was walking longer without getting winded, sleeping deeper, and his words, feeling more like myself again. We ran tests and saw measurable improvement in his blood flow. No prescriptions, just tea. Here's how to do it right. Don't boil the water. Use water around 175 to 180 degrees. Boiling destroys the delicate catechins. Steep for 3 minutes, no more. Use loose leaf if you can, about 2 grams per cup. Keep it unsweetened. And here's a trick. Add a squeeze of lemon. The vitamin C boosts catechin absorption significantly, which means more nitric oxide and better flow right when you need it. Green tea does have caffeine, but way less than coffee, and it contains L-theanine, which keeps the energy smooth and steady. No jitters, no crash. A few safety notes. If you're on blood pressure medications or ED medications, space your green tea out by at least 2 hours. And if you're on statins or have liver concerns, stick to 2 or 3 cups a day. You want to nourish your body, not overload it. Now, food number 4, it's small, it's sweet, and it's probably already in your fridge or freezer. Blueberries. Don't let the size fool you. These are some of the most potent circulation boosters nature has ever made. 1 handful in the morning can set off a chain reaction inside your body, expanding blood vessels, reducing inflammation, and increasing oxygen delivery to the muscles and tissues that matter most. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, plant compounds that activate nitric oxide, and here's the kicker, they also protect it. They prevent oxidative stress from destroying nitric oxide before it can do its job. That means more of it reaches your groin, your legs, your heart. Let me tell you about Hank. He's 70 years old, a former mechanic from right outside of Louisville. Tough as nails, but came to me with fatigue and low confidence. He'd been on ED meds for years and figured that was just how life was going to be. I asked him, "When's the last time you ate real fruit for breakfast?" He laughed. "Maybe a banana, 10 years ago." We made one change. He added a cup of frozen blueberries to a bowl of plain Greek yogurt 3 mornings a week. That was it. 2 months later, Hank's blood pressure had dropped, his fasting glucose improved, and his wife called me to say mornings had gotten better. His energy, his mood, his confidence, all shifting. That's what real food can do when you give it a purpose. Now, some of you are in your 70s. Some of you are pushing 80. And you might be wondering, does this still work for me? Absolutely. I've had patients in their early 80s make these same changes and see real improvement. Your body doesn't stop responding to good nutrition just because you hit a certain number. It slows down, sure, but it never stops listening. The key is consistency, not perfection. 3 to 4 mornings a week with blueberries is a solid target. Frozen is just as good as fresh. Sometimes better because the nutrients are locked in at peak ripeness. Toss them into oats, yogurt, or a smoothie. Just don't drown them in sugar. They're sweet enough on their own. If you're on blood thinners, blueberries are low in vitamin K, so they're generally safe. If you've had kidney stones, start with half a cup and work your way up since they do contain some oxalates. For most men, though, they're completely safe and incredibly effective. All right, let's bring this home. You now have 4 powerhouse foods that can jumpstart your circulation, boost nitric oxide, and bring energy and confidence back into your mornings. Black beans, steel-cut oats with chia seeds and almonds, green tea, and blueberries. Each one works on its own, but together they form a complete circulation support system built from real food. No pills, no guesswork. But here's what really matters: how you use them. Knowledge doesn't change your body, action does. I've seen men sit on good advice for months and stay stuck. And I've seen others make one small change the very next morning and feel the momentum return. So here's my challenge to you. Start tomorrow. Not next week, not after your next doctor's appointment. Tomorrow morning. Pick just one of the 4 foods. Maybe it's black beans stirred into your eggs. Maybe it's oatmeal with chia and almonds. Maybe it's a cup of green tea with lemon or a handful of blueberries on top of yogurt. Don't try to do everything at once. Start with one. Keep it simple. Keep it consistent and eat within 60 minutes of waking up. That's when your circulation is most ready to respond. That's when your nitric oxide levels need the biggest lift. Your body listens to patterns, not perfection. One missed day won't ruin anything. But what you do most mornings, that's what rewires your system. Stick with it for 3 to 4 weeks. I've seen lives change, medications reduced, energy reborn, intimacy restored. Not from magic, from food timed right, used with intention. You're not powerless, you're not washed up. You are fully capable right now of changing your direction. I've seen men in their late 70s and 80s walk into my office grinning like they just won the Super Bowl, not because they beat the clock, but because they stopped fighting their biology and started working with it. And that's what I want for all of you. No shame, no panic. Just small daily wins that add up to something big. Because this isn't just about performance. It's about showing yourself and the people who love you that you're still in the fight, that you still want to feel strong, connected, present, and proud. So tomorrow, make a decision. Just one. Pick up the fork and put down the excuses. Choose circulation, choose confidence, choose you. This is Dr. Claire Weston, reminding you that age is not the enemy, neglect is. But with the right food, the right timing, and the right mindset, there is still so much strength left in you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 4 foods you're going to try first. And if you've already started making changes to your morning routine, let everyone know how it's going. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If you found value here, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Stay consistent, stay curious, and above all, stay in motion. You're not just changing your breakfast, you're rewriting your story.